Welcome to Storytime in the Tiny House. This is my favorite book, The Big Adventures of Tiny House.
The Big Adventures
of Tiny House.
The Big Adventures
of Tiny House.
Once there was a farmhouse in a field of hay. But while it lay sleeping, the acres gave way to a bustling city whose bright shiny towers edged out the farmhouse, the fields and the flowers.
Clever hands salvaged the windows and doors, recycled the wood from the walls and the floors. Hoping to find a more neighborly view, they picked up those pieces and built something new. With some nails and a saw and a hammer with a claw, they made
a sweet little house, cozy and snug, with a tiny front porch and a red braided rug, a tuck-away table, and a neat little nook for writing a letter or reading a book.
A loft made for sleeping and happy stargazing, and dreams of a life that was big and amazing. Cabinets crafted from fallen down trees, and best of all, wheels, so he could go where he pleased. Though they didn't have room for all their old stuff, what they decided to keep was exactly enough. Tiny liked his new shape and his rolling foundation, but how could he get to his next destination?
Here came Big Truck, sturdy and strong, with a hitch on her back to tow Tiny along. With a tug and a thump,
with a tuck and a thump,
and a bumpity boppity bump,
and a bumpity boppity bump.
Away we go.
Away we go.
That little house on the road caught everyone's eye. Children waved and blew kisses when Tiny rolled by. To see the world whizzing past gave Tiny a thrill, till they passed Miss Mansion, where she sat on her hill. She took a long look and with scorn on her face said, "You can't be a home if you don't stay in one place."
Tiny was troubled. Could that house be right? Was he really a home if he wasn't stuck tight? But he didn't have time to worry too long. Big Truck was rolling and singing her song.
The sun's shining bright and we've got a green light, let's drive.
Let's drive.
That's soul. Driving's just what they did, heading west with the sun, looking for landmarks and friendship and fun.
In St. Louis, they stopped near a remarkable arch. In New Orleans, they joined a parade on the march. They turned left at Texas and placed a big order for tacos at a stand just south of the border. With a rattle and a pop, truck rumbled to a stop. Oh no.
My tank's almost empty and my tires are flat, but I know just the place to fix all of that. No need to fret or fall into frustration. We can find what we need at Granny's gas station.
Granny filled them up with tender loving care. Water in the radiator, tires pumped with air. While Big Truck enjoyed the rest she was taking, Tiny was tickled by the friend he was making.
She was a silvery sort, about the same size as Tiny, who said with a drawl, "Y'all call me Shiny."
How fun! What joy! A new traveling companion. They rolled down the road to the famous Grand Canyon. Look at them on the Grand Canyon. Look, they're on the edge. They're not even scared. That's because they're tiny house people. We're not scared of edges.
When they drove through the desert, Tiny got practice, swerving to miss the sharp spines of a cactus. Winding up through the Rockies, they got covered in snow, so they headed back down to the valley below.
They stopped at a drawbridge and looked down in wonder as a strange-looking ship tootled right under.
Toot toot, splish splash. I'm Waverly,
He said,
I'm a house on a boat. I live on this water, see? I can float. A home on the water, can such a thing be? Of course,
said the houseboat.
Why, look at me. I've got walls and a roof to keep this rain out. I'm a wonderful home, even floating about.
Life alone on the road was losing its luster when they heard the horn of a schoolie named Buster. Beep beep, honk honk.
If you're looking for adventure, just follow me to the axle hopping, wheel stomping, tiny house jamboree. We'll raise the roof with our ruckus. All our kin will be coming. They'll be ringing and singing and dancing and drumming. We're a congenial crowd. We're lively and loud. Let's jam.
Tiny was proud of this grand celebration, and his shingles fair shimmered with joy and elation. They stayed up late till midnight,
swapping songs and tall tales of adventures they'd had on their tiny house trails. Tiny talked of his plans to visit the stars, how he would hitch to a rocket and zoom straight to Mars. When the song had been sung and the stories all told, the jamboree ended and they got back on the road.
North to Wyoming and down to the Keys, then west to the Redwoods to see the really big trees. Tiny loved the surprises around every turn, but after thousands of miles, he started to yearn for a patch of green grass where he could sit in the shade and spend some time chatting with the friends he had made.
He thought about Missy up high on her hill. He hoped she was happy, sitting there still. As for him, he was looking for a new way of living, a community founded on sharing and giving. He found it a good spot under an old apple tree and settled down with his friends in sweet harmony.
With some nails and a saw and a hammer with a claw, they grew something new.
A tiny house village full of chatter and charm, with a view of the river and an organic farm. He could be home anywhere, because home wasn't a place. Home was a feeling, a smile on your face. Home was friendship and singing and a full happy heart. It was sharing good meals where you hung up your art. Whether you dropped your anchor or decided to roam, what called to your heart could still be called home. And when Tiny woke up with that traveling itch,
Big Truck was ready to hook up the hitch.
The end.
By Susan Shafer Bernardo and illustrated by Courtenay Fletcher.
All right, this one gets real good, kids. All right, you ready for this? All right.
They picked up those pieces and built something new.
Beep, beep, beep.
Oh no! The big adventures of Tiny House.
And best of all, wheels.
Where do you think he's gonna go next time? Alaska? South America? Jump on a boat and head over to Africa? I want to see Tiny House in Africa. All right. Thanks, everyone.
Alexis and Christian here of Tiny House Expedition.
Click on the left or right to see more tiny house tours and stories.
And don't forget to click on our faces to subscribe today.